In the last video, we went over the idea of a lottery contract. The idea behind this is that people can enter into it. At some point in time, a random winner is picked and they get a big sum of money. Let's now continue by talking about some of the design considerations and maybe the internal API of the contract itself. Now, I've taken a little stab here on some of the different variables and functions that we might need. I'll tell you right now that there's going to be several other functions that we're going to write, but this is kind of an initial take, and we'll figure out what additional functions we need over time. So I think that at a very basic level, there's two different pieces of information that we want to store with the contract. Firstly, I think we should store a manager variable. This will be the address of the person who created the contract. So this is going to be the person who has the ability to, at some point in time, tell the contract to pick a winner. Only the manager should be able to tell the contract to pick a winner. No player should be able to initiate that process. So we're going to record the address of the person who created the contract simply so that we can verify that it's the manager at some point in time who is attempting to tell the contract to pick a winner. I think we should also store a list of all the different people who have entered into the lottery. We might call this something like players. This will be an array of addresses for every person who has sent money to the contract. As soon as someone sends money to the contract, that means they are automatically entered into it. As far as functions go, I think that there's two obvious ones that we'll probably need. Firstly, I think we'll probably need a function called something like enter. So this will be the function that someone can send a transaction to enter themselves into the drawing to win the prize pool. In order to call enter, we should make sure that someone is sending along some amount of ether. So remember, you enter into the contract by sending some money to the contract. So I think that enter is a pretty reasonable name for that function. The other function that we'll probably need is something like pick winner. So this is a function that should randomly pick a winner out of the list of people who have entered the contract and then send them the entire contents of the prize pool. So I think at a very high level that encapsulates the basic behavior of our contract. Like I said, over time, we're going to realize that we probably need some additional pieces of functionality here, but this at least will give us some initial guidance on how we should approach the problem. So let's continue the next section. We're going to start to use Remix to draft out an early copy or an early draft of this contract. So see you in a minute.